Okay, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to talk about how to write your first draft. Okay, this is part one. We do have another video below. So, the quote for this video. You can sit there, tense and worried, freezing the creative energies, or you can start writing something. It doesn't matter what. In 5 or 10 minutes, the imagination will heat, the tightness will fade, and a certain spirit and rhythm will take over. That quote is by Leonard Bernstein. Think about this next time you have writer's block. Okay, so the first hurdle of writing a book is the outline. So hopefully you have done that before you've watched this video. However, if you have, it's now time to turn that hard work into a first rough draft. Okay, the first draft of your book honestly is going to be far different from the finished version, but going through this process will help you weed out what doesn't belong in your masterpiece, and more importantly what does belong, and importantly what makes it flow. So I always suggest to all my students that when you're not really sure of what to include, what not to include, please just do a brain dump. Get everything out of your head down onto paper or computer, whichever method you prefer to use. Just get it all out, okay? When you go through the proofreading and editing, that's when you start to just, pull out the pieces that don't belong, add pieces that do belong. So it's important to just get it all down, and you can just work on what belongs and what doesn't later, okay? Okay, this process will have you turning your outline into real sentences and paragraphs. It is actually like painting a picture. Okay, in your outline, you actually would have outlined the vision you wanted to create by sketching. Okay, so now you're ready to fill in the colours and give it more detail and make that picture come alive. Okay. Now we're going to go through the 10 basic tips for turning that outline into a first draft. So here we go. Number one, simply write. The bare bones of your first draft will become the flesh and sinew of a real book. Most great writers begin the rough draft of their books by simply writing what first comes to mind. You can always revise, as I said, and fix problems later. For now, simply write down the bare bones. Now, when I wrote my last book, I used to get up in the morning and I didn't start from chapter one, right? And did, chapter one, chapter two, I didn't do it that way. I got up and I thought, now what do I feel like writing about today? And then I decided that I would pick a topic that I felt comfortable with talking about or writing about that day. So that's what I wrote about, because otherwise I wouldn't have done it. I would have just simply gone, nope, too hard, and walked away. So just pick something that you feel like writing about that day. It doesn't matter what order you write it in, okay? This is where you adjust it later on. Number two, glance at the outline for guidance, okay? So always keep your outline nearby. If you become stuck while you're writing, glance at the outline and help keep you on track. You may want to keep on writing without looking at your outline, and that's fine. If that works for you, then go for it. So whatever works, there's no right or wrong, okay? Just remember that. Number three, before you sit down to write, you really should follow a routine. Routines are meant to set your mind up and get you ready before you do anything, okay? So like drinking a cup of tea, meditating, listening to music, they may be just the routine you need to get your creative juices flowing. So whatever gets your creative juices flowing, I want you to incorporate that into your routine, okay? And if you're not sure what it is, try a few different things. You will find out which one works for you. So just try it. Try a couple of different things. So number four, it's okay to leave gaps. So the purpose of your rough draft is to get your thoughts down. when you have the time to write, or even when thoughts actually just come to your mind. So even, you could be out and about and something comes to mind, grab your phone. You can actually record on your phone now. So just record it, so then you can use that when you get home and you have the time to sit down and continue. So there's also going to be times when, there'll be words that you can't think of, or sentences that actually just don't work. They sound silly. That's fine. Honestly, leave them alone, knowing that you will come back to them later and you'll have answers for them. One thing I do suggest, if it doesn't feel right, either leave a comment or you can just highlight it. Highlight that little bit in a different colour so that you have to come back to it. Okay? Number 5, please don't stress about writing. You'll write much, much better and your information will flow a lot more smoothly if you're not stressed about the writing process. Okay? Just simply focus on the ideas, not the grammar or the structure of your sentences. Okay? Simply focus on the ideas. What we say to our students, just write unedited. Okay? Unedited. Do not worry about the editing at this stage. That comes later. Just focus on the ideas. Okay? And number 6, begin anywhere each time you write. I mentioned this at the beginning of this video. If you're not feeling the urge to write about, if you do not feel the urge to write about the subject matter in your first chapter of your book, then that's fine. Begin with another one. If it's the end, the middle, 3/4 of the way through, it doesn't matter. Your writing will be much stronger and you'll make much more progress if you write about what you're feeling passionate about at that moment in time. Okay? So please don't stress. Okay, so that's it for this video, and we'll continue with the other steps in part 2 of this video. Okay, thanks. Take care.